Hey everyone, welcome back to Automation. Last week I did a video on Roadcraft, which is looking really cool. If you haven't already, you're running out of time to check out the demo. It looks pretty sweet, so definitely worth checking out. And if you missed that, my video is always there too. I run through everything that I found in the game. But I'm happy to say Automation Alpha here again, and I've come up with a bit of a conclusion, and that is that superchargers solve all problems. If you have some kind of issue with your car, you need to supercharge it. Your brakes have gone bad, supercharge the car. Why slow down? Your engine is making a knocking sound. Supercharge that engine and blow it up. Your car is falling apart with rust. Supercharge it, and then it'll fall apart faster. Do you see what I'm saying here? Superchargers fix all issues. A long time ago now, I made this truck. It's supposed to look like a Ford. I mean, it says Fjord on the back of it. I've called it the Jade as opposed to the Limited, and it's supposed to be a high-class, expensive-looking Ford truck that says Land Rover on it, but it has an issue, and that is, it's boring. The engine currently, at least in this version of the game, doesn't work. It's failing due to valve float, and it only makes 300 horsepower. It's a 5-liter V8, but that's like, it's not enough. We need more power, we need more fun. We need to turn this truck into something cool, so let's do that. Awkwardly, this truck actually mildly resembles my own truck, although mine is a Ram instead of a Ford, and mine is a base model instead of a Limited, and I am sad now. But 4 doors, crew cab, short bed, this is a longer bed. Why don't we change things up a little bit? I'm going to keep the crew cab. I didn't think I was going to, but I'm going to keep it. So one of the issues that supercharging will definitely fix with this is it's really slow. I mean, 300 horsepower in something that weighs almost 3,000 kilos is quite slow for modern day standards. Old standards, not really. If this was a diesel, not really, but it's gas, it's heavy, it's slow. We need to lighten it up. Let's go Ford and go aluminum. So the chassis will still be ladder. Actually, I'm going to make it heavy duty ladder. And we'll maybe go AHS steel, but then I'm going to go for an aluminum panels, and that should maybe lighten it up a little bit. I think that this HD ladder might make up the difference, but let's check. Okay, it basically doesn't do anything because I went for an HD frame. Well, whatever, it's heavier duty now. It's a 2500, even though it doesn't look like it at all. So we got double wishbones up front, we got coils on the back, that's fine. It's not a Lightning, it doesn't need double wishbone times 2, and everything else in here is looking fine. I was gonna try and make it a mega cab, but that's unfortunately as big as it'll get, so we cannot do that. Instead, it'll be over to paint and fixtures and stuff. It's been a while since I messed with paint and fixtures and stuff, but it's something I need to get back into. I really do enjoy it a lot, so let's do it. Okay, I've managed to actually match that Ford color decently. Maybe a little bit darker, that one sort of blue that they have. I'm sure I could figure out the exact hex if I stole it in Photoshop or something, but that looks pretty decent, honestly. It's not bad. I think I could improve some of the other aspects, though. It needs to be more modern. Okay, on to the actual fixtures. I've gone for a blue and a white look, which is quite cool. And then I'm just going to make this white as well, if I can find it. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. People always ask me where I get my mods, and the answer is off of the Steam Workshop. And the reason I'm saying that is because I really need to go and get more mods. I am getting a little bit out of date with these. I need more. Case in point, I don't have any like legit Ford logos, so we're going to be using the Dragon version, and it'll just say Drake on it. Not that Drake. That's not bad. I mean, it looks pretty good actually. I just need to fill in this gap. And then for some reason it doesn't have windshield wipers, so I'll fix that too. And there's some jank going on back here. So there's some weirdness in automation currently, at least in the alpha version that I'm in, where supercharged and turbocharged engines are not generally that good. I know that's like a gasp moment. That's a contradiction for what I had said previously, but they are... Ooh, that's not the thing I wanted to enlarge. They are overshadowed by how powerful NA engines can be. At least that's what I'm finding. This unironically looks like the Tremor, like with the nose piece they got on them these days. That's the best way to put it. It genuinely looks like a Tremor. So now I'm trying to figure out where I can put orange accents to make this thing fly like that. I think I got a spot. But yeah, it seems like supercharged and turbocharged engines are just not as good as they should be. So we'll see if that actually turns out to be the case with this. I'm hoping that I'm good, but there's only one way to find out. Okay, so I'm giving the truck a hood scoop, just because I think hood scoops are cool. A lot of modern trucks these days have like letters all up on the sides, and they have raised hoods and stuff. This is actually a two-piece thing. I just made it like this because I think it's cool looking, and it sort of fits with the vibe that this truck is going for, so we got something good going on here. I also updated the rims, you probably saw that. They look a lot better, and everything else is fine, except this is not going to be the Jade anymore. It's going to be the Emerald. Okay, has it been improved? Well, yes. Is it going to be improved further? Heck yes, let's get into this. It's time to take this same engine and supercharge it because it's dying right now. Valve float is a bit of a problem. So we have a 90-degree cast iron. Let's actually make that aluminum light just to try and take some weight out of this truck because I have probably not done anything. In fact, it's heavier. It's a 4-valve overhead cam, iron eco. Yeah, I mean, things have changed in this game since this engine was made, so that's why it doesn't work. Previously, I'm sure it was fine. Check out the video that it was in from ages ago to see. But let's raise the displacement a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more displacement. Full 5 liters, there you go. This is what it currently looks like, all plain and boring. Let's put an aluminum standard, actually aluminum performance head design thing on there. All aluminum engine, should be good. Obviously it's having problems, but thankfully some of them seem to be solved there just by picking a better head. 393 horsepower, that's not bad at all. That's really not bad. All cast on the inside, that's fine with me. Let's raise that RPM, that's not it. This is the one I want. RPM limit up a little bit. Who cares if it's unreliable? It doesn't matter, it's supercharged. There you go, 406 horses with cast light pistons. It's all cast internals currently. I mean, that might change. Let's just forge the pistons, come on. We'll just get the pistons completely off of the potential list of issues. And we'll forge cranks as well. You know what, heck it, reliability, forged everything. And now for the grand reveal, supercharging time. Over to aspiration. Supercharger, I have not actually decided what kind of supercharger I want to put on there, but immediately that's a power bump. That is a significant power bump, up to 550 horses with a Roots style blower. Darn cool, let's do it. So we got a Roots blower, let's go for advanced control on it. I don't know exactly what that does, it's been a while since I tuned anything. This thing is 2 liters. Okay, that's really not that big, but it seems big considering the engine is only 5. I think, man, what size is a Hellcat Supercharger? Let me just look it up. Okay, it's 2.4 liters according to the AI overview on Google. And just a heads up, often that thing is wrong. It is just completely wrong half the time. So let's do 2.4 liters for no particular reason. Making it bigger is fun, and making it bigger means more power. That is a lot more power. Jumping over to foregraph mode, we're actually looking decent, although the efficiency is a little bit beyond where it should be. It's making 30 pounds of boost, potentially up to 30 pounds of boost. Like, that's good. That's surprisingly good. Okay, let's tune this thing a little bit. Running the supercharger gear ratio and the supercharger tune, I basically just want to leave this where it is, and I've decided the capacity is going to be this, so that's not going to change, but let's turn up the gear ratio a little bit. See if I can't. There's a little bit of pressure stress. 579 horses, that's a lot of power. Not bad. Supercharger tune. Kind of pushing the power a little bit later on in the build. I actually am afraid to continue to adjust this because of how potentially bad this could be. This really isn't that bad of a curve. This might actually be the best supercharger I have made in this game, and it was not a lot of effort to get there. Okay, before we go too far, let's just see what is restrictive. Exhaust, intercooler is fine, but if we up the exhaust size, it probably will just take off in terms of the power. Oh yeah. Yeah, 600 horses, that's not bad at all. That's actually really good. and that is with nearly 4-inch exhaust. Full race headers on there, and we're making 615. I want to make about 100 more than that, so let's see what we can do. Again, my goal for right now is really just to get the supercharger into a rough efficiency zone, and then we can sort of adjust it from there. But full boost and more gear ratio, I guess. Although that is boosting it up and out of efficiency. Oh, we're losing a little bit of power, but I think it's sort of getting to where it needs to be. It's ending here, which is good. So that's 607 ending in the green. I'm going to say good enough. Let's get power in a different way. Fuel is an easy way to make power. Although the fuel that I've chosen is currently just premium gas. Let's put ultimate in it. That might make it a little bit nicer. And again, taking a look at the graph, 633 more RON is a good thing for this car. It needs that. This engine is just begging for stiffer springs, and I have a goal in mind for horsepower here. We're darn close to where it needs to be. So let me just hit the RPM limit a little bit more. Okay, it's well beyond what I thought it was going to be. I was going to do 707, so I'm actually going to turn it down and see where we get to. There we go, 707.5 at almost 9,000 RPM. Realistically, this engine is a little bit bananas, but it is good, and that is surprising for me. We're a little bit out of the max efficiency zone there, but it's all good in the hood. I think that this is going to make some serious power, and it's going to make this truck quick. It's going to make it darn quick. Still almost 3,000 kilos. In fact, it's getting heavier because of all this stuff I'm adding, but I think that that is done. Do you want to hear it? So by watching it there, I could see it was really only making like 10 psi of boost, but that's not bad. Like 10 psi is decent. Decent enough. It doesn't need to go that crazy. But that's kind of cool to see. Like, it's cool to see that stuff in action. And it's cool to hear that supercharger whine, especially with these naughty headers. All aluminum V8, very high revving, very powerful, 707 horsepower. It's gonna go good. So now how do we put that power to the ground? Well, it needs a lot more of, well, this other stuff. Top speed is only estimated to be 290, and yet this 10 speed is theoretically capable of doing 576, which is insane. I'm gonna keep the 10 speed, I'm gonna keep the advanced auto, but I'm gonna have to adjust all this stuff. Also, let's do electric LSD. So what is it that's causing us to not be able to put this power to the ground here? Everything seems fine, but that's not as quick as I thought it would be. 5.6. It's probably just because it's really heavy. That's likely the situation. Okay, I'm going to put the thing here so we have at least one overdrive gear, and I think that that's it. Like, that's where it's going to stay. Everything here looks fine. It is what it is. Oh, I picked rear-wheel drive for some reason, but I'm going to actually do... I want to do full-time four-wheel drive. Let's actually do all-wheel drive on demand. That is going to change things up a little bit, but it should be okay. But the gearing is going to change, that's for sure. A lot of these high-trim trucks have all-wheel drive on demand, and that also cuts our acceleration down significantly. So that's what I was missing. It's all-wheel drive. Don't know why it was rear. Naturally, it's heavier, but it also has more power, which is all good. And I think that, yeah, I mean, it should be good. Okay, we're running radials as you do. It's sports tires instead of semi-slicks. I think that's probably reasonable. It is supposed to be a truck at the end of the day. And yeah, it's probably not a smart idea to put like ridiculously sporty tires on your truck. 285 sounds good. 22s, wow. And everything here is going to be fine. Yeah, everything in the brakes and stuff is all good. Like, that's perfect for what it should be. It has no anything. I'm going to put an off-road skid tray on it, just to have something. Full interior, it's definitely not a full six-seater. This thing is a lighter truck than that. See, this is where I decide whether or not it's worth it to try and make it as light as possible. I don't think this is going to make much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, it's a couple 100 kilos, so it is what it is. We'll keep it there. All the normal stuff, good quality stuff, and air suspension. Apparently, let's do active sport instead. This will give it a lot more presence, and I'm also going to give it a race preset, which will drop the ride height pretty significantly. And oh yeah, now that is a race truck. Supercharger indeed. Okay, the Fjord Emerald is ready to go. This thing is improved, I think. Supercharging it and a little bit of style points, but this is a top tier truck now, I think. I love trucks. You probably noticed that I'm trying to buy another one. I can't convince my wife. I need more driveway space for more trucks in my life. Built truck tough, you know what I mean? That was so cringe, I'm gonna die. But let's get into beamng and race this thing against nothing. Okay, thank goodness it actually worked. I was struggling a lot to get this thing to export, but I managed by tweaking the settings in the exporter to get it to function. Don't know what's going on these days, but I honestly thought I was gonna have to cancel this video and just kind of scrap this truck because of that. Thankfully I did not. Although that does mean it has some errors and issues. I couldn't get all the textures all organized, but whatever. It should be good enough. You get the idea. I think it looks pretty darn good. Like, this looks like an actual truck. It looks legit, and I'm very pleased with that. Also, it is wickedly loud. Get a taste of that. Yeah, no, there is no replacement for supercharging. I am at a sawmill. Don't think about that too much. The reality is that yeah, we're not going two-wheel drive. We're gonna go sport mode. The reality is that this truck is not really made for truck stuff that much, although it is still capable. I gave it a little bit of extra ride height. Let's take it for a drive though, instead of making people dizzy here out in the sawmill. I do want to try and find some pavement. This is the East Coast map, I believe, which is not exactly home for slick tires. It's more off-road, at least in this section. Yeah, 707 horsepower V8 does mean you get very little traction on slippery surfaces, especially with semi-slick wheels like this, even with sport mode and all-wheel drive. At least I'm pretty sure it's all-wheel drive. Yeah, it is. I mean, barely, but at least there's a road. Okay, good. Home turf, let's go. Oh my goodness, it has no traction. Oh man. Well, maybe I should have gone for the slick tires. It would at least be able to put the power down in that case. The gears are really short on this, so it's what you expect when you've got such short gears, thin wheels, and yeah, wheel spin. Now it's all-wheel drive on demand, which means it's actually only sending power up front if it senses that there's slippage going on. It's like all-wheel drive auto on your regular higher up model pickup truck. My truck is basic. I just have four-wheel drive lock, no auto, so that means it's two-wheel drive unless I turn it to lock, and then it's stuck in four-wheel drive. It will not switch back by itself, which is fine. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not a good solution for like my wife, as an example, who isn't gonna know when to switch it, but for me driving, it's fine. Honestly, full-time four-wheel drive, that's where it's at. That's what I dream about at night. Sometimes I'm like, man, Land Cruiser, Limited 4Runner, anything with full-time four-wheel drive is just getting a nice place in my heart. But that also has compromises like bad fuel economy. Wink wink for 4Runner, and also Land Cruisers of all generations, even the hybrid ones. So much so that I've been thinking about buying something new for my wife to replace her RAV4, and I want to buy a Land Cruiser, but the fuel economy is so trash. It's like I'm going from a hybrid RAV4 to ridiculous premium fuel, like half the economy, and the thing is still a hybrid. So I don't know. I might not end up doing that. We'll see. All-wheel drive on demand, probably a poor choice for this truck, though. I think the traction is just non-existent. I should have picked four-wheel drive and then just locked it in four-wheel drive, because that would have been better. Although, like my own personal truck, again, four-wheel drive, but it's four-wheel drive open diffs, and that means that it's just, if you get one wheel that's loose, like one wheel spinning on ice, then that's it. Like you're stuck. I mean, in four-wheel drive, you need to have one on the front, one on the back slipping, but you can very easily get yourself stuck with it. And I found that out in my driveway on my way home today. Yeah, it's that easy. Trucks are actually really good in the snow, but only with a couple of caveats. You need some features in order to be better. So my Fjord Emerald is ridiculously loud. It is very proud. It is fast, mostly. It's hard to put the power down, but it is supercharged, and like I said before, supercharging fixes all problems. So it has no issues at all because of the supercharger. There is nothing wrong with this truck at all. It is perfect in every aspect, and it is darn fast as well. I might be able to get into 10th on this road, unless there's a real curve coming up. Whoop. Still perfect. Still perfect. Oh, that's not where I wanted to be at all. Wow, a small trail is not a home for this vehicle. Let's try it anyways. Oh my goodness, on-demand all-wheel drive. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. Oh no. She's beached, and even though it's got a limited slip, it's totally stuck. That lasted literally 3 seconds. Boys, moral of the story is, if you got your race truck, don't even try one of these sort of off-road parks. You're not going to be able to go very far, and as cool as it looks sitting on that rock, it's still stuck on that rock, so sorry. Whenever I make a truck, I have to test out something important, and that is towability. Actually, towing ability, rather, not towability. How much can this thing pull, and how well does it do it? Let's just get an enclosed cargo trailer, let's put the heaviest load on it we can, make the thing orange for no reason, and there you go. Towing is something I really love doing in real life. Towing is just a lot of fun. Also, I'm now realizing, is it gonna connect? Hello? Okay, connected. Yikes. But yeah, towing is a lot of fun in real life. I have a little trailer. It's 12 feet, 7 by 12, I think is what it is. Just single axle. And I like to tow that thing, even though I've only moved it once at this point because I use it for storage. But I've done a lot of towing with my truck, and it's really fun. So yeah, in games too, again, it's fun. There's a reason I like SnowRunner. Okay, this trailer is bouncing all over the place. All that weight in the back is not doing me much good. With the ridiculous lack of sway control on this truck, you would think a higher up model might have that, but unfortunately Automation doesn't offer it. It is swaying real bad. The weight must not be well placed in there. It should be a lot straighter than that. Maybe it just needs to come a little bit more forward, get a little more tongue weight on it. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit rough. Goodness, I have towed a 8.5 by 20 trailer before, and it was full, like it had 10,000 pounds in it. It was so rough to tow that thing with a 1500. I never want to do that again, not without having something that's a lot more capable, such as the 5500 I want to buy. But that's probably not gonna happen. Well, there goes the trailer. And the wood. Let's go see the aftermath of that. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And the trailer destruction that has taken place is very, that is such a cool spot. Very, very sad. I can see how... Guys, I think this might not be the right vehicle for this section. But I've been enjoying building stuff in beamng or in automation for a while now. I'm losing my mind in beamng as well. So check out this channel if you like this kind of stuff. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And oh wow, I will continue to destroy trailers in interesting ways. As in, the entire frame on this thing is screw-dizzled, and I will have to see you again next time. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoy this stuff, and check out some of my other videos as well. I really like to make these weird creations, and hopefully you do too. Buy the games and do it yourself. I'll see you again soon. Man, oh man, that is a worst nightmare scenario right there.